So Deontay Wilder and Francis Ngannou mixed rules fight. What's the purpose of this? Why do we need to see this? Why can't we not just have Deontay Wilder fight Francis Ngannou in a boxing match for the PFL? What's the excitement around the mixed rules? Now I have to admit, before I read this little article here, I have to admit to you that it does excite me. I'm looking forward to any type of a fight between Francis Ngannou and Deontay Wilder. The PFL, what you're noticing from the PFL here is that they're trying to drive as much traction, whether that be negative or positive, towards the promotion because they're putting on events. Now, listen, I'm not against the PFL. I like the PFL. I think that they are a good promotion. They're coming to Dublin. The tickets are a little bit expensive. I'm not going to lie to you, especially for a low rank promotion that is the PFL. They really need to be looking at their ticket prices and maybe focus more on production for the masses, for lots of people to see them on TV. You know, I'll make a separate video about that. But for me personally, right, for the PFL not to be seen as a joke, what they need to do is they need to solidify themselves as not a joke. So you can't be a comedian. For me personally, having Deontay Wilder and Francis Ngannou, just from a business standpoint, in a boxing match, would do more numbers than a hybrid. And you're going to say, "Well, that's silly." No, well, here's why I think it would bomb. Number one, MMA fans tune into the UFC because they like watching mixed martial arts. Boxing fans tune into boxing because they like watching boxing. Now, if you veer out of either one of them, let's say Lethway, the martial art, the discipline that allows you to headbutt people, it's a very good discipline. It's very, very entertaining to watch. Why isn't that doing 2 million pay per views every time somebody fights or their champion fights in a Lethway tournament or fight? Because it's people aren't really invested in it. People are invested in either MMA or boxing. As soon as you veer out of that, you're not going to get those numbers for the simple reason boxing has centuries, should you say, centuries, and MMA has decades of fan support. So whenever you veer out of the realms of what that is, you're not going to draw in the same number. So it would be silly for the PFL to make a fight with Deontay Wilder and Francis Ngannou in a mixed sort of discipline fight. They will be seen as a joke. They will be seen as who remembers that promotion out in Asia? It was before one championship. I actually forget the name of it. They used to put on silly fights. They used to have like Gabby Garcia used to fight in it, and she fought like a 50-year-old wrestler. That type of promotion. Maybe not as bad, but you get where I'm going with this. So if you want to keep it nice and juicy, my favorite saying, keep it nice and juicy. Stick to what you know. Stick to what sells. Put on high performance, put on a high performance production for either a boxing match or an MMA fight. A lot of people come here and say why they like the UFC. One of the reasons why the UFC is the dominant promotion in all martial arts, in all combat sports, whether it be boxing to kickboxing, is because of their level of production. They have, if there's a new camera, if there's a 16 K camera that comes out, they're buying it. They have fighter walkouts in 8K. They were the first promotion I've ever seen do that. When it comes to production, they are second to none. You want an example of that? Just look at Power Slap. Dana White has Power Slap. It's on its like fourth event, and it's getting more numbers than the NFL. Apparently, allegedly, I don't know. It's getting more. No, it's bigger. Power Slap is twice as big as the PFL, and that's geezers slapping each other, and that's down to production. Focus on the production, how the audience sees it on TV. Keep the ticket sales low, but also don't veer away from your bread and butter, and that's either boxing or MMA. It was hard enough to get people to watch MMA as it is because they thought it was just cage fighting, cockfighting, thought it was like barbarians fighting each other. There was no skill to it until people actually clicked on and went, Jesus, this is actually fantastic. There's a lot of skill goes into this. Actually, it's more skillful than boxing because you've got groundwork, technical groundwork. You've got kickboxing, you've got Muay Thai, you've got boxing, you've got all different types of martial arts that you need to know. And now it formed into its own little category of MMA where people can go train straight MMA, the most dominant martial art in planet Earth, straight MMA. So why veer away from that? Why would you want to make Deontay Wilder versus Francis Ngannou in some weird hybrid rules? It won't sell. It will bomb. You might get a few people coming in buying it. I don't think it does over 300,000 pay-per-views. I know people are going to say, well, that's actually a win. It is a win. But what the PFL are looking for here is that million pay-per-view buy. I'm telling you now, Deontay Wilder versus Francis Ngannou won't do over a million pay-per-views. It won't even do over three. They will be lucky to get 300,000 pay-per-views because the MMA fans probably won't tune in and the boxing fans won't tune in. And if they do tune in, they will rather go and pirate that and watch that without paying for it because that's the atmosphere that we're living in now. We're living in an atmosphere where fights are easily got for free. So when you know that, and you know that the MMA fan base buys the MMA solely because they support the MMA promotions, then you have to stick at that. When you know that the boxing people, the boxing heads buy the boxing matches because they support boxing, then why would you veer away from that? If you create something else, that will be most certainly pirated and you will not get the buys that you think that you're going to receive. So Deontay Wilder needs to fight Francis Ngannou either in an MMA fight or they need to fight in a boxing match. It's either one or the other. You can't have hybrid rules, even if it's something simple as boxing in 4 ounce gloves. That could work, but still, that could work, but still, if the PFL needs to be seen as a legitimate promotion, for me personally, it's either MMA or boxing. Do a one championship. You have multiple different disciplines. You can have a kickboxing match, a boxing match, an MMA fight all on the same card, but you can't don't hybrid them rules because you're taking too much of a chance and it will not pay off. The UFC, as it stands right now, wouldn't do that. Why do you think the UFC haven't tried something like that? The UFC, Dana White has created Power Slap. He's took a risk with that because he understood there was a market for it and he bought all the other promotions and he created the dominant promotion for slap contests. Why do you think he's not doing hybrid fights with MMA, like MMA and boxing? Why do you think he had? Sure, that would favor Conor McGregor if he went in there and it was just say a karate tournament with no gloves. That would suit Conor McGregor and Wonderboy Thompson. Why do you think Dana White hasn't done that? Because he understands his demographic. He understands if I veer away from this, people might tune out. People might start to see us as a joke. So for the PFL to do something like this right now, this is solidifying themselves as a joke. If they want to be taken serious, they need to have 10 years of hard graft, losing money, taking that Saudi money to back them up, putting on wonderful shows with top class production, matching the UFC and even surpassing the UFC in production if there is such a thing, just to break even and maybe not even break even, just to have a foot through the door. That's what we're talking about here. So I don't favor the hybrid rules between Francis Ngannou and Deontay Wilder. I don't think it works. I think it's silly, and that's not me being outdated. That's me telling you that I know people aren't going to buy that. I'll buy it. Some of you might buy it, but I'm talking about the hundreds of thousands of people that support MMA. Will they buy it? No. Half of those people won't buy it. What about the people in boxing? Not even a quarter of those people will buy it. They don't want to watch gimmick fights. They want to watch the sweet science. Why should they tune in to watch a freak show fight? Think about it. Think about it business wise. The PFL are doing this because they think it's the right thing to do. Somebody needs to advise them it's the wrong thing to do. And that's my opinion on the whole matter. Right, guys, that's the end of the video. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe and hit that notification bell. The only toll you have to pay for this channel is like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That's all I want you to do. And if you want, you can leave a comment in the comment section. If you want to go follow me on social media, all those links can be found in the description. What also can be found in the description is my second channel, Serial Killing Minds. Now, that is my true crime channel, which is co-owned by me and serial killer expert Sean Warner. Sean Warner is, as I said, a serial killer expert who speaks to serial killers. This guy has had conversations with BTK. This guy speaks to people that are in prison that were active serial killers and are now jailed for this. A lot of people say, well, that's a bit weird. Well, do you know what? Regardless what you think about Sean, his wealth of knowledge is second to none. So if you're into that type of true crime stuff, make sure you click the link in the description, which will take you straight over to Serial Killing Minds. Uh, Subscribe, hit that notification bell. We go live every Thursday at 9 p.m. on that channel and here. After a year's time, once we build up the audience on that channel, then all them lives will just solely be moved over there. But we will be going live over there too. So make sure you head over there if you're into true crime and smash the like, or not smash the like button, but subscribe and hit that notification bell, and smash the like button too on all the lives that we do. And you can get invested in the live chat. You come on, you can ask questions. As I say, Sean's got a wealth of knowledge in regards to true crime. His expertise is serial killers, but this guy's been through it all. He's got, he's been in prison. He's a wealth of knowledge when it comes to true crime. So you do not want to miss those if you're a true crime buff. But that's it, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Peace.